Yes, 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 yes. This is me, Hudson George, tonight. Do not think again, man. My topic tonight is the Caribbean region is not a zone of peace. And historically, it was never a zone of peace. It was a region of European colonial rivalries. Now, with the hot topic in the Caribbean now. Hot topic. There is conflict between Venezuela and United States, Guyana, and all them things. Caribbean leaders, some of them going to the UN and saying the Caribbean is a zone of peace, an area which is a zone of peace. The Caribbean never a place that peaceful. Yes, blue sky, blue sea, from Venezuela to Miami, blue sky, blue sea. On the coast, on the Caribbean sea coast of Central and South America, Colombia, Venezuela, Panama, go right up to Miami, Caribbean coastline, and the Caribbean islands. Right? So, factors why the Caribbean was never a zone of peace. The history of the Caribbean was piracy. And if there is a God in heaven, and you believe in Christianity, and Jesus Christ had to come back to save the world, well, you will see a lot of dead bodies resurrecting from the sea. If they say people are resurrect from the grave, the amount of slaves, African slaves, Caribs and Arawaks, and native Central and other South American people that die in the hands of the European in the Caribbean. So how can the Caribbean ever be a place of peace? It's never a zone of peace. And presently the conflict between the United States and Venezuela go back now, like we could say it's a rebellious English country fighting against a Spanish country. Right? What Spain first came to the Caribbean and colonized people. Right? Columbus was an Italian, but he traveled as a sailor or a pirate or whatever he was to the Caribbean. He thought he was going to India because he didn't know about the Cape of Good Hope. So he ended up in the Caribbean, right? He didn't know to go below South Africa to get to the Indian Ocean. He looking for spice, he ended up in the Caribbean, right? And what he did after? Mass genocide. Now, after that Spanish came, the Spanish keep coming. Then the Portuguese come. Then the French come, the Dutch come. Then the English come. Now we see conflict between Venezuela and the United States. Historically, Venezuela was and still is kind of Spanish. Historically, United States was British and still kind of English. So, and they want to go to battle for oil and gas. This time is not for sugarcane and tobacco. Never has place of peace, man. Don't let nobody fool you with that. So when our leaders go into the UN and say that, it was never a zone of peace. Piracy. The pirates used to hang each other on the coast, who conquer one another to scare off each other. There was a time in history when the island called St. Kitts today was once called St. Christopher. It was occupied by the French and the English. Each man playing one another the game to get it. Thomas Warner versus Disembark. So one Englishman and a Frenchman, each man sharing the island, waiting to cut each other throat for it. Because those days was sugar cane. Now, going back now to Caribbean island, never a place of peace. We got to go back to Grenada now. October 1983, on the 19th of October 1983, some crazy Grenadian left-wingers commit one of the most heinous crimes in the Caribbean post-slave history in the English-speaking Caribbean. Kill a set of people for power. To say the Caribbean is a place of zone of peace, why after the Bernard Code Brancher communists overthrew the Maurice Bishop Brancher communists, and then the American invade. Today we have a SSU in the region. We have a security service unit created by the United States. And maybe Britain have a hand in it now, I don't know. I see my Prime Minister was in Venezuela the other day, wearing the Venezuelan flag sign, a banner across his chest. I wonder if my Prime Minister know that is Haitians, people, black people in Haiti, designed that flag, the Venezuela flag and the Colombian flag. My Prime Minister hanging out with the left, but he didn't give 19 Haitian refugees safe haven in Grenada as a young leader. But he wearing the colors of the Haitian flag, the Haitian design for the Venezuelan flag. Is he a rookie politician and he don't know the history? You see, the Colombian and the Venezuelan flag was created by Haitian. Haiti helped liberate those places. And yet still my Prime Minister playing homage to Maurice Bishop as his hero, but he didn't accept 19 Haitian looking for some place to rest their head. But he wear the flag. Revolution is not Juve manning. It's serious business, man. Now, the SSU in the region is in the OECS especially, is to crack any rebellion. And it's because of the Grenada Revolution. The guys who execute Maurice Bishop and his supporters to take power for themselves, for the other group, because in communism it's like hyenas, you know, they eat each other. After the American invade them, they live out with a security service unit called SSU. One time I was in Grenada, and I sit down I'm from St. Patrick, I sit down in a restaurant, top of the tongue in Sotters, Newman's restaurant, Newman's Daniel restaurant. And when you come from abroad, you people doesn't know you live abroad. I met a young man drinking a couple drinks in the top of the town, Sutter's High Street. And he realized I was a Grenadian who visiting. And we start drinking, two of us. For somehow we start a conversation. And he told me he was a SSU. And he told me the role of the SSU, if you have a rebellion in one island, you take SSU. So let's say there's a rebellion in St. Vincent. They take SSU in Grenada and Dominica and St. Lucia or Antigua or St. Kitts to go and crush it. So if the SSU solely as a security unit kill people in St. Vincent, if the rebellion is in St. Vincent, the SSU will be doing the killing will be from Dominica or from Grenada, who going to crush the rebellion. So when they go into the UN and saying the Caribbean is a zone of peace, no. There's also drugs in the region too, because there's a market for drugs in North America. It's not a zone of peace, man. And it was never. Let us get our facts straight. You understand? Because if the Caribbean was a zone of peace, why is it in Grenada they want to push October 19th down our throat as some kind of holy day? Right? Where is the peace, man? There is no peace in nowhere in the world. Some place hotter than some. There is no peace. You understand? So we got to get our wording straight. Going to the UN and say it's a zone of peace is just a joke. It is not. Look at the situation in Haiti. How could the Caribbean be a zone of peace? How could it be a zone of peace? There is gunboat in the southern Caribbean now. Who knows? Would Venezuela and America go to war? Will the crazy communists and them in Grenada take over the ruling party? With young people still walking with their pants falling and they dress, they don't know if they're Americanized or what. Well, every generation is style. I remember in my school days, in my later school days, the latest style was hipster pants. So some male students used to make the grey pants in a hipster style. But that was no big deal. With a little bell bottom. That was popular. What zone of peace is that? Crime in the Caribbean has increased over the years. Growing up as a boy, I never know people gunning down so much people. I remember Jim Jones massacre. That was the biggest thing we know in the jungle in Guyana, Jonestown. Then Crazy Maxis in Grenada kill a set of people. Then we had Abu Bakr in Trinidad with his Muslim Jamaat. So it could be a zone of peace. Haitian Prime Minister sleeping in his house. What he was, the Haitian Prime Minister or President, whatever, sleeping in his house and gunmen go inside there and kill him. How can the Caribbean be a zone of peace? There is war for oil and gas. Come on, people, man. Even Grenada don't settle yet. People accusing one another of being working for security services. if you don't share the political agenda. If you are a pollster, a Grenadian pollster, and you do a pollster and you say the government in power today is losing some popularity, they say you're working for the other party. But when the pollster say before, the local Grenadian pollster say before that the NDC will have win the election, it was okay. Now, the same Grenadian pollster saying the NDC have to look into doing something a little bit more in the interest of the people to gain more popularity. They say the pollster is working for the other side. I mean, and the pollster is not a foreigner, he's a Grenadian. So, how it could be a zone of peace? Where is the zone of peace? There is no zone of peace. If you say the Caribbean is a region without high technology, I agree with you, but it's not a zone of peace. The Caribbean is a region of a growing amount of academias, theorizing, and they don't like making analysis of situations. They make it classroom studies or for whatever, academic stuff. So, anyway, this is me out St. George. I go on. That's all I have to say tonight. Till I come again. That's all I have to say tonight. Till I come again.